Hey fellas, 265 Chevy here on this hot ass day. Alright, today is July 5th. Hope everybody had a happy 4th. And I want to tell all our service people, thank you very much for doing what you do. Without y'all, I couldn't do what I do. So I really appreciate it. I'll make a video of an epic fail. And this is the epic fail. I tried the best that I can. And I gave up. This is a pre-order that I was trying to do. And there's a couple of things that I think the reason why it failed. Well, first of all, the tank itself. When I bought the tank from the guy, this was a Freon tank, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And he turned it into an air tank. So he filled it up with air, and then he used it to, blow things off and fill up the balls and stuff like that. So it held air, and then so I drilled. Now I put some money into it, of course, because I had to buy some tools to do what I needed to do to it. So I drilled a hole, and then I got a pipe. I think it was like 1.25 inches, and then I had a 1/4-inch pipe here, and I drilled another hole, and I put the pipes in, and I went to go to weld them. Well, before that, when I drilled the hole, I looked into the tank, and I saw that they had some rust. So I filled it up with my Evaporust and let it sit for a day, or maybe 2 days, and Evaporust really did really well and cleaned it up pretty good. And it cleaned up all the outside, stripped all the paint off. I was going to paint it. So the night that I went to weld these on, I welded it, which you can see I'm not a very good welder, and that was one of the problems. But so I welded it, filled it up with air, and of course it kind of leaked around where I weld. But then again, it had over here, it had this round, I don't know what it was used for, but it was actually made into the tank. But it had a pinhole. And so what I did, I tried to weld up the pinhole, and it made a bigger hole. Tried to weld up the bigger hole, and it made a bigger hole. And then they had other little bitty holes that popped up, because when I ground down this one, I guess I ground it down too much, and then when I filled it up with air again, they had a few other holes. So when I tried to fill up those, the holes got bigger. So I was chasing my tail. And then also, it was also leaking around here. So I re-welded it again. And then it still leaked around here and here. And then, so I tried to go and weld from the weld onto the tank, thinking that, if I can get that to seal, that, I might be able to solve that problem down there. It just became an ongoing issue, fighting with it, blah, blah, blah. I was spending freaking a lot of time on it. And then I just got, tired of it, to be honest with you. It ain't working. It's a fail. It's a good idea. And then you listen to it, they got all kind of slag from the wells inside there. And this is what I wanted to pre-all my motor with. So, got online, which I probably should have did from the first place. Went to Summit, they had one. So I bought a pre-order from them. And it seems like a nice little unit, you know, comes with the hose, the fittings. This is actually made for an LS motor. You know, I can, you know, I got all the other stuff that I bought to make this, which is pretty much the same thing I was making. I had a gauge that I was going to put on mine, and I have the gauge, and you know, it has a cutoff and everything. So I think it holds up to 4 quarts. So I'm gonna use this. You know, it was on sale, 143 bucks. Didn't really want to spend the money, but since I had money into this one, but I gotta keep on moving forward. I can't just keep on chasing my tail. So I bite the bullet and bought what I needed. You know, I don't even really know if I need to do this. Probably not. More than likely, I don't know. But I would feel more comfortable if I can pre-all that motor. You know, have all the galleries and going through the lifters and everything else like that. I can't even get, you know, it's a 3.4 V6 on a 94 Firebird. You know, Summit tells me they got a roller cam in there. My machinist tells me that no, it's not, it's a hydraulic lifter. I looked online and looked in the book, and you know, I can't. I'm getting 2 different, which I hate. I'm getting 2 different answers from 2, you know, people that I think would know what the hell they're talking about. So, and you know, and I don't want to go back and say that, okay, well, Summit said, or my machinist said, you know, so I don't want to go through all that. So I said, well, even if it is, I'll pre-all it anyway. I really don't, after this, I don't know how often I'll be using it, but, you know, I'll have it. You know, if I ever do get to rebuilding a LS motor, I'll have it, which that's probably highly unlikely. You know, the way things are going, how fast things are going, I'll probably be dead and gone by any of those times. So, because other things is popping up his ugly head, he won't give me a break. This window right there, where the air conditioner's coming out, for whatever reason, when the rain comes from this way and it hits that window, it leaks into the house, you know, with a pretty good drips. And it drips by an electrical outlet and everything. Only when it rains really, really, really hard. But I can't have that, you know. So the only way to probably solve that problem is yanking that air conditioner out. That air conditioner has a problem. Waiting on a board, which I've been waiting on for about a month, and it's on back order. So that air conditioner works sometimes it don't work. Lately I've been lucky, it's been working. So me and my wife can at least sleep in air conditioning. Other nights we have to go sleep in the living room because it ain't working. You know, and that unit's only 2 years old, and I bought the insurance on it and everything else. So you know, let's see, the truck. Still not have found the issue on the truck, but I did do a tune-up on it. I put new spark plugs, new wires, new rotor, new cap. I need to, there's more parts I have. Changed the belts. One belt didn't, I think y'all know that from one of my vids. One belt didn't fit, I got that. Got gear oil. I got a fuel filter, an air filter. All that needs to go on it. This harmonic balancer was bad. Let me show you. That's why the belt was squeaking. If you can see here, you see the gap here between, let's see if I can zoom in on it, between here and here, the gap. Now if you flip it to the other side, you see how close that gap is? So this pulley is cocked, and it's a harmonic balancer. It's a harmonic balance plus pulley. So I already bought that. I already put that on. That's already a done deal. I replaced the seal. That was a major pain in the ass. But that's done. But I haven't brought the truck back here since. Filled it up with water, put the radiator flush in it, and I've been driving around like that. So I need to flush the radiator out, put that other belt on, change the oil. So that's a good few hours right there on working on that. I'm just going to take the parts off that are good here, save them, throw them in my little bin of pipes and other stuff if I ever need it for the house or any other thing. I'll have it. I'm not going to return it. Not worth it. See, at least this pre-oil will work. I mean, I haven't used it yet, but it seems like it will work. I mean, this one right here is the one I built for to put transmission fluid in and rear end fluid, which that's what this is for, to change the rear end fluid in the truck. So I'll be using that for that. So at least I'll be able to get some use out of it. What else? To be honest with you, lately I've been having the don't wants. It's just been so freaking hot. Rain. I like it when it rains because it cools it off, but then it kind of messes you up outside because you kind of got to go out there to, to do different stuff when, even though you're working in here, because everything's so full of, you got stuff all over the place here and starting to get more stuff. I don't know. Just, I guess, I don't want to say depressed, but just kind of get overwhelmed maybe, There's so much to do and it's just one person and, every time I turn around, I look at something, there's something else, especially on the house, and, I'm working on a cause. I like doing that, but it's not easy work. So you kind of get worn out, and you kind of like, oh man, do I really feel like going down there and do that in the heat, and so I don't know. But I keep on forcing myself to come down here. Like, I'm down here today. Don't really want to be down here today. We'll be making another video in a couple of days. I got something else I kind of, had done. And y'all find out about that in that video. Went to the eye doctor. My pressure's all starting to rise a little bit. Went from 14 to 16 and 16 to 18, but still below where it needs to be. So that's good. Hopefully you'll find a nice little comfort zone and stay there. But she seems to be, happy with it or whatever. It's been 3 months. 3-4 months since the surgery for my eyes. So that seems to be holding. I don't know. So I guess what I need to do now, since I have the pre-oiler, I need to, because everything from the middle of the car back is pretty much done, and start working on the front. So what I need to do is lower this, so it ain't gonna be so high for little short people like me, so I can get up in there easier instead of crawling, climbing the mountain, and start getting the parts from the attic and bringing them down and start, cleaning them and figure out what goes where and what wire goes where. And I need to take off the valve covers and hook up that pre-oiler that I just bought, and pre-oiler get the oil all the way up to the top of the valve train, and start putting the front together, and hopefully crank this thing up, you know. Hopefully it'll run. Hopefully it don't leak like a sieve. Hopefully I don't have that too many problems. I know more than likely I'll have some, but and truthfully, if I have a lot of problems, I'm probably just going to turn around and I'm going to sell it. You know, just going to eliminate the problem that way. I really like to keep the car since I put so much money into it and have this as a good third car, but I'm getting tired of just, you know, play around with these things. You know, I'm getting, life is getting short. I don't have much, you know, I guess you could say you don't have much time. Yeah, I could live to 80-something years old, but I'm not going to be driving these things when I'm 80-something years old. I doubt it very seriously. If I did, I'd be driving it like Grandpa, so what's the point? So you kind of got to start making hard decisions. If I was 20, it'd be a lot different story. But since I'm 55, you know, I kind of got to start picking my battles. I don't want to make this video too long, but this has been an epic fail. I really wanted to, you know, to do it, to say that I did it. But no, I guess I need a lot. I got to give it to the people that weld. You know, Turbo Cobra, TX Viking, you know, people that I watched that weld. Man, I tell you what, welding around in a circle is not easy. You know, I mean, if you don't, I mean, welding in a straight line is a lot easier, and that's not really all that easy. And I think another problem with it was that this is galvanized. So, you know, maybe if it was metal, it would have welded better, but trying to weld galvanized to metal is probably not the best thing. And it probably would have been easier if you had a TIG welded and you knew how to TIG, so you wasn't putting so much heat into it. But, you know, I don't have that. I mean, eventually one day, hopefully I will, and I know how to use it, or at least pretend that I do, and go from there. But I'm just going to drill this away, fellas. Say goodbye. And drill that away. And put this in one of the shelves up there. You know, it's a cool looking little unit. You know, but alright, that's about all I have. You know, try to clean up a little bit, try to get involved in something, and y'all have a good day, and y'all take it easy. Bye.